clear. On me, Rabbit. Go, go, go! RPG!
This is what we came here for. Let's go on.
We got Mutter, we got Voodoo, we got Preacher, then we got me, Giga Chad Rabbit, and we're a part of a Tier 1 unit, Task Force Neptune, one of the most elite fighting forces in the world. Back in 2010, EA released Medal of Honor, a game that was overshadowed by giants like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and Battlefield Bad Company 2. Amazing games, but here's the thing, looking back today, this game was way ahead of its time, and I'm about to show you why. Medal of Honor went in a completely different direction. It was gritty, grounded, and tried to capture modern warfare in a way most games didn't even dare to do at the time. Instead of big explosions every 2 seconds up in your face, this game focused on atmosphere, authenticity, and realism. You weren't some unstoppable action hero, you were just a soldier trying to survive. The campaign was short, sure, but it delivered something few games did in 2010. A realistic take on the war in Afghanistan. Missions were inspired by actual events, and the pacing felt closer to a war movie like Black Hawk Down than a blockbuster action flick. The game also respected the tone of real-world combat. The dialogue, the settings, even the loadouts. All were designed to feel authentic, and in many ways it paved the way for more grounded shooters we see today, like Insurgency Sandstorm or even Squad. When EA decided to reboot Medal of Honor, they didn't just want another World War II shooter like before. They wanted realism, something closer to boots on the ground, an experience of actual soldiers. You were a member of a team, vulnerable, human, and it made every firefight more intense. Your teammates will call out directions. They would tell you to get to cover. If you go down, they will respond. It was pretty awesome. This direction didn't fully land with audience back then, but it was still pretty popular. The developers worked closely with military advisors to nail the vibe of the game. As said before, the tone is serious, respectful, and immersive.
Fuck you.
Every single character in this game was memorable and had great personality and voice actors. If we start with Rabbit, he's the first Tier 1 operator you see that you play as. Although he is not very talkative, he's the heart of the team. Without spilling too much, Rabbit's storyline hits hard. Next up is Mutter. Mutter was the definition of leader calm. Level-headed, and someone who always puts his men first. He wasn't about barking orders or acting tough for the sake of it. He was the kind leader you'd actually want to follow. Lastly, it was Preacher. He wasn't too much seen on screen until the end. He said a few lines here and there. Really good personality, right in the middle between Mutter and Rabbit. But overall, he didn't get much screen time, as I said. There's a bunch of other characters throughout the campaign, but because I'm only doing the first few missions, I'm only covering the main ones for the first few. If this video does good, I'll probably do a second video going more in depth. If you watched this far, just to go on of everything I said, I'm only playing the first 3 to 4 missions this video. Reason is, it's an amazing game, but I don't want to capture all that hour of gameplay because every time I end up editing, I try to just include every single little clip and awesome scene of the campaign, and it took the whole campaign. So I've been editing for hours and hours, and I'm constantly going back and forth trying to include every single cool scene, but the whole campaign is cool. So I'm constantly conflicted with that. Either way, so I'm just going to do the first 3 missions, 3 to 4 like I said. I know some people might not like that, you want the full thing or whatever, but I would just recommend you guys to play the game. In all honesty, it's on Steam, buy it, play it, And then if you've watched it this far, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button and do share. I'm a brand new YouTuber, really getting the hang of all of this, but I'm really enjoying making these videos and I have a lot more planned. Either way, let's get back to the video. Appreciate you guys. But I know a lot of people don't really care about these stuff, but for me, when I personally play shooter games, depending on if it's arcade or going for realism or whatever, I really like the realism aspect to some extent with arcade mixed in, because you can't make a game 100% realistic, obviously. And if you can, which you can, it's not going to really be as fun for a video game. But the main thing is I love the attention to detail. The blood sticking on the ground, the blood puddles, the blood sticking on the walls, the characters' heads getting blown off, limbs flying, grenades exploding the body parts. If they're getting burnt, they're like burned. You can see the heat raising from their flesh. You get airstrikes, accurate firearms. They're actually pushing the bolt release on the M4s, releasing the bolt, or the M110s. You actually got the models corresponding how they work in real life, which a lot of games don't get right. And there's still flaws, there's still bugs, there's still issues like any other game, especially since this game is so old, obviously it doesn't get updated. On top of all of that I like, it's you can actually see characters also having camel packs, because Afghanistan is very hot. So as you can see right here, Voodoo has his camel back and he uses it to stay hydrated, and he has his tomahawk attached to the back of it, which he kills this insurgent with, and then he has another tomahawk. So he has two tomahawks, as you can see. I don't know why, but he does. He's Voodoo for a reason, I guess. Either way, I love that they have that. Alright, I know I'm all over the place. Holy shit. I know I'm terrible at this. Either way, next up, as you can see, this whole second mission pretty much assaulting the airfield base. Bagram was the airfield base they assaulted in real life. Another thing I really like is that the Afghan National Army is actually used in this video game. Because in real life, the Afghan National Army helped the Special Forces assault Bagram Air Force Base as well. And this is, as you can see, in the second mission. Really cool that they included that. They didn't just focus on the American narrative. And yes, they're not a big portion in the game, but they are shown throughout a few times of the game assisting the Americans, which is actually pretty cool.
Great job, Neptune. Bagram is ours. Roger, Panther. Likewise. Gentlemen, we just seized an airfield. Well, that was pretty fucking ninja.
One of the biggest things that always makes me want to replay this is just the level design and mission variety. It's actually a huge part on why the campaign holds up so well, in my personal opinion. It wasn't just linear corridor shooting the whole time. Instead, the developers mixed in different mission types, pacing from different environments, challenges, and making each area feel unique and distinct in its own way. You fight across valleys, mountain passes, villages, the airfield, caves, and you even get to fly a Apache attack helicopter in one of the missions.
We're clear. Get on the gas.
You get to call in air support, you get to call in an AC-130 gunship, you get to do a bunch of cool, different, unique stuff. You get to use machine guns, machine gun turrets, you get to snipe, you get to drive the ATVs, the 4-quads, all over the mountain passage of Afghanistan. There's unique missions where you're falling back and your team's getting picked off, or you're sniping in the mountains and then getting pushed, and now you need to lay up ambushes and retreat and fight like you're not a main character because you're outnumbered and outmaneuvered. And then obviously there's a bunch of stealth, you know, sneaking through the bushes, through the villages, just being stealthy like any cliche typical Call of Duty scene, but it worked so well. The story and characters make this game so alive. Look how these soldiers are arguing with their command to make sure they're making the right calls in the battlefield.
Roger. Listen, Flag wants to send in the Rangers ahead of plan.
Not advisable. The reality has changed. Plus, Task Force Rebel is going in tonight.
That general's 9,000 miles away and he's calling an audible. He doesn't want the Afghans. He wants our guys on the ground.
He needs to listen to the guys on the ground. It's find the bad guys, kill the bad guys. It doesn't work real well the other way around. Stall him.
Roger. I'll do what I can.
Alright, that wraps it up for this video. Like I said, I know some people might not appreciate just showing the first two missions, but I did go in depth of covering kind of how the game works, you know, the blood effects, the uniforms, how the weapons work, some gameplay. It honestly is just a really unique experience, and I'm sure a lot of people already played it. I would like to cover a multiplayer session for a video, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to make that work. But again, depending if this video does good or not, I'd be more than happy to revisit this and give it a little bit more justice if you need to. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, share, and thank you for bearing with me as I figure this all out. Brand new channel, as you know, but there's a lot more coming. So, a lot of love. Peace out.
Welcome to Clementon. Let's get set up.